Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to me being released from, being sectioned again. Get in there. So, yeah, all I could say right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that if the last experience was anything to go by, I think they thought that I heard my family say that I was so unfunny that they had literally no choice but to section me again. So there we go. So yes, God Almighty, imagine what would happen if literally you guys decided to get me sectioned as well because I was that unfunny. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after today, we'll be officially halfway through Saxon's Lionheart. And if it does literally look like I'm wearing the exact same shirt for the last few weekdays, it's because, well, what can I say? I literally started doing Lionheart this evening, and we are already halfway there. And to be, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, this album, it literally is just Iron Maiden up north, or the very heart of British heavy metal. So let's keep the artery ticking, shall we? And this is Beyond the Grave. Is it possibly going to be a follow-up to Lionheart from yesterday? Because Lionheart was the chef's kiss of heavy metal because it was so utterly badass. But let's keep going, shall we? Wow. It's certainly a lot slower, ladies and gentlemen, than quite a lot of Saxon's affair that we've seen previously on this album. And while I do think it's probably maybe... It's actually... for what I think it's probably maybe the weakest song maybe so far on this. Maybe because maybe it didn't flow when they say we're waiting for a sign calling to the afterlife. Maybe it just sort of like... I don't know, maybe it didn't flow, maybe it didn't flow maybe as good as I thought it was going to, but at the same time, I'm not really like that brokenhearted about it, because what makes the experience is that you are driven, ladies and gentlemen. That's also one of the great pointers about Saxon's Lionheart, is that they have this tremendous thundering, like Richard the Lionheart's horses. It has all the intentions to make you carry on, to drive you forwards, and something that even beyond the grave, even something that cannot be, because it may not literally mean like grave as in death in any specific way. It could more mean something along the lines of, what drives the weak? What is something that has put you down, that you want to see? You want to bring yourself on the brink of death and despair, and you want to keep kicking ass. I think that's maybe, in my opinion, what they were going for, and I'd say actually I think they pulled it off really well. I mean, are you standing on your own when the darkness? Yeah, exactly. Is that, are you going to be the lone voice in the darkness? The lone warrior in the wilderness? Are you going to break out of this mortal coil, ladies and gentlemen, and to become a god amongst men? Or are you going to be another one, very common in the next in line, just another state of affairs? Are you going to bow down to the one you serve? Because if you do, you're going to get what you deserve. So I managed to sort of... quote, I think, possibly Shakespeare. It might have been Marlowe, actually. And it all ended by quoting Nine Inch Nails. By the way, I ought to do an album by Nine Inch Nails, because I think they don't get nearly enough as a look in as they should, but that's besides the point. Anyway, good song. Maybe I probably thought I would like it a little bit more, but hey, there's got to be some good coming. So I hope each and every one of you have enjoyed Beyond the Grave by Saxon, and I cannot wait to talk with you guys again in the next video. So take care, and bye-bye for now.